Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will embark on a journey through The Chalice of the Gods by Rick Riordan. The Chalice of the Gods by Rick Riordan, published in 2023, is the sixth installment in the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series. Set during Percy Jackson's senior year of high school, it revisits familiar characters and themes, blending mythological adventure with relatable teenage struggles. Percy is tasked with retrieving Zeus's goblet as part of an unusual college application process involving divine recommendation letters. Plot summary: Percy Jackson's hope for a peaceful senior year is shattered before it begins. He enrolls at alternative high school in Queens to make up for the time lost battling gods and monsters, but normalcy eludes him. On the first day, a sea spirit sent by his father Poseidon informs him that to gain entry into New Rome University, the demigod college of his dreams, he must secure 3 divine recommendation letters. This seemingly simple task comes with a caveat. Each letter requires a new quest, and time is running out. Percy's first challenge arrives in the form of Ganymede, Zeus's cupbearer. Ganymede's most prized possession, the Chalice of the Gods, has been stolen. This ornate goblet, capable of granting immortality to mortals, must be retrieved before the theft is discovered by the other Olympians. If Zeus learns of the loss, Ganymede fears disgrace, or worse. Percy reluctantly agrees to help, enlisting the aid of his loyal companions: Annabeth Chase, his brilliant and pragmatic girlfriend, and Grover Underwood, the ever-optimistic satyr. The trio begins their investigation by seeking out Hebe, the goddess of youth, who once held Ganymede's position. They track her to an eccentric arcade and entertainment center in Manhattan. The garish venue, Heebie-Jeebies, is a chaotic blend of nostalgia and magic. It captivates visitors by immersing them in childhood memories, offering fleeting glimpses of youthful vitality. Navigating the maze of arcade games and strange attractions, Percy and his friends confront Hebe, who denies involvement but shares her disdain for Ganymede's flashy ascent to Olympus. Though her sharp tongue raises suspicions, she points them toward Iris, the rainbow goddess and another former cupbearer. Their next stop is Iris's organic health food store, where the air is thick with the scent of patchouli and incense. Iris is nonchalant, absorbed in her business, and seemingly uninterested in Olympian politics. She insists she has no reason to undermine Ganymede, whom she describes as harmless but self-important. However, her hints about someone manipulating events behind the scenes suggest a deeper mystery. She directs them to the mortal realm's underbelly, where information flows as freely as nectar. A bustling farmer's market frequented by demigods, nymphs, and even the occasional monster in disguise. At the market, chaos erupts when Percy's group encounters a pair of rogue demigods attempting to auction off a chalice they claim to be the artifact in question. A skirmish ensues, blending slapstick humor with high-stakes action. Percy's control over water, Annabeth's strategic brilliance, and Grover's uncanny ability to charm hostile creatures ensure their survival. However, the chalice is revealed as a counterfeit, and the demigods flee, leaving the trio at a dead end. Determined not to give up, they regroup at a himbo juice bar, where Percy's frustration boils over. Just as they begin to doubt their success, Ganymede reappears, this time in a state of even greater distress. He reveals that his delivery route has been sabotaged, forcing him to transport nectar to increasingly dangerous locations. The trio realizes the theft of the chalice is not an isolated act, but part of a larger ploy to discredit Ganymede. Their suspicions lead them to Mount Olympus itself, accessible via an inconspicuous elevator in the Empire State Building. Navigating the gleaming, ever-changing realm of the gods, they arrive at the grand hall where divine feasts are held. There, Percy discovers a trail of clues that point to a surprising culprit: Ares, the god of war. Ares's rivalry with Ganymede stems from petty jealousy over Zeus's favoritism. Using the chalice, Ares hopes to humiliate Ganymede and assert his dominance among the gods. The final confrontation takes place in a sprawling junkyard where Ares has hidden the chalice among heaps of celestial debris. The war god's lair is guarded by automatons and fire-breathing beasts, forcing Percy and his friends to rely on quick thinking and teamwork. Annabeth's tactical prowess proves invaluable as she devises a plan to distract Ares long enough for Percy to retrieve the chalice. Grover's connection to nature allows him to neutralize the automaton guards, while Percy faces Ares in a tense showdown. Ares, ever the bully, underestimates Percy's resilience and the bonds that unite the trio. The demigod's determination to protect his friends and honor his commitment to the quest gives him the edge. Percy secures the chalice, and the group narrowly escapes as the junkyard collapses in a fiery explosion. Despite his defeat, Ares promises revenge, leaving the trio to wonder what consequences their actions might have. Back on Olympus, Ganymede gratefully receives the chalice and immediately writes Percy's first recommendation letter. The god's flamboyant handwriting and excessive use of golden ink are both endearing and ridiculous, perfectly encapsulating his personality. With one letter down, Percy feels the weight of his remaining quests looming, but he takes comfort in the unwavering support of Annabeth and Grover. As the trio returns to Manhattan, Percy reflects on the absurdity of his life as a demigod. While the god's whims often frustrate him, he recognizes that his adventures have forged unbreakable bonds with his friends. The road ahead remains uncertain, but with their shared humor and determination, he knows they can face whatever challenges arise. Hope you had fun. If you're hooked, don't stop now. Continue with the rest of Percy Jackson and the Olympians series by Rick Riordan. You'll find them below or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Rick Riordan's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.